Yo, what is up, everybody? It is your boy, Luis. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to be looking at some super duper creepy TikToks. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I just didn't know what was happening in these TikToks. So if you like creepy stuff, I know you guys do. I really know you guys do. I know you guys. You guys are my friends. We're going to be watching these creepy TikToks together. Make sure you have a friend with you all the time. All the time. I advise you. You see? You see? Creepy stuff is happening. You see? Oh, Jesus. Creepy stuff is happening all the time. All the time. All right. But with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and jump straight to the video. Let's get our headgear on. Let's get our gear of heads on. And let's get straight to it. Because ain't nothing to it but to do it, my friend. Alright. Let's go. Let's go. Let's get it going. When you go to Florida.
We're staying from behind.
Jesus. Let me tell you, those sunburns are. Those sunburns were just beyond anything that is normal. Anything that is normal, that is beyond it. I don't know what they were doing. I don't know why their sunburns were so bad. But let me tell you, I hate sunburns. I just hate them. Let's go to the next one.
Oliver Tree was trying to tell us the elites were...
Let me tell you guys this. R.I.P. Oliver Tree died on the 14th. Bad news for music. Let me tell you, this is bad news for musicians everywhere. Oliver Tree was nothing less of an inspiration and a good friend. A good friend to all those people that he loved. All those people that he liked. Everybody. He was nothing short of a good friend. And let me tell you guys, R.I.P. Oliver Tree, because he will always be a legend in our eyes. He will always leave his mark on here. He is going upstairs with the good man, and hopefully everything goes great up there. With that being said, let's go ahead and look at the video. ROPOV. This looks weird. Oliver Tree said elites were coming after him
right before his passing, allegedly. Just weeks before his passing, he ended up leaving his record label very publicly as they pulled all support for him, and nobody quite knows why. Listen to what he has to say about his record label and going solo.
Listen, this y'all. My album is no longer coming out.
They shelved it.
Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled.
No reason.
Parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare.
Says a nightmare.
No marketing budgets for music videos, no digital ads.
They pulled support.
Nobody really cares in the building, it seems like. I made a lot of money for Atlantic
Who'd
Records.
he make mad?
I seem to remember that.
Made somebody mad. Then as he breaks free, becomes independent, he's just starting his first ever world tour solo, and suddenly he's just gone. Now we have no evidence of this, but many people are screaming foul play, and they're saying something doesn't seem right about this. Not to mention, in his music and his art, he was calling out the elites a lot. And with all the signs we've seen in his videos that look like he's warning us of what's about to happen, people are saying, is something more going on? What do you guys think? Oliver Tree was trying to tell...
she said it right. I mean, something is going on. The elites were out to get him. The elites were out to get him, and it seems like they didn't like the decision that he's made of leaving the company and leaving the record label and just going solo. They thought that, hey, maybe he's got way too many things he could expose us for. There's a lot of things that he knew. It just wasn't right. It wasn't right. Let's go on to the next video.
This isn't a screenshot from a PS2 game, this is a painting from the 50s. And I'm fully convinced after seeing Alex Colville's artwork that this man was a time traveler. And he time traveled to like 2007, played The Sims on PS2, and went back and painted about it. Because like I said, all these paintings were done in like the 40s and 50s. And Alex was apparently a part of the Canadian Army at the time. I mean, look at this though. It looks just like PlayStation 2 graphics or OG Xbox. Even the splashing in the water. Look at the way the water looks. I've never seen other artwork like this either. Like I said, the man was in the military in the 40s and 50s. Maybe he stumbled upon a time machine. Because there's just something about his paintings that seems so digital. I mean, you could use this as a screenshot for an indie game on Steam and assume that this is in the game and not a painting from 1953. Do I have any other proof that this man's a time traveler? No. By God, you could sell me this game. It looks like Red Dead 1, not 2. Go look him up on Google and you can see more of his work. It's crazy. No, this is...
Alright. I think those are just really coincidental paintings. The second painting and the third painting, they did look a lot like video game graphics. The dog one, video game graphics. I thought that was a video game, to be honest. I thought those were video game graphics. You couldn't tell me otherwise. But with that being said, I don't know.
No, this picture is not edited whatsoever. This is Ariana Grande at her first show of the Eternal Sunshine Tour yesterday in Oakland. And obviously many people are talking about this on social media. But the problem is there are so many fans of hers that are defending her and going at people that are, you know, concerned about this. Saying things like that's body shaming and that we all need to be body positive. But in my opinion, you can only be so body positive. It gets to a point where this is very harmful. And when I first saw this photo, I thought it was edited. You know, a lot of people edited photos of her, you know, during the Wicked press tour. And I thought this was just another case of that. But no, this is 100% real. And here are the dates for the tour. And it goes all the way until September 1st. I'm just concerned she won't have the stamina to get there. You know, food is fuel for our bodies, and that's why a lot of people are concerned that she might faint at one of these shows. Especially in a concert venue where things get really hot, and if you're moving around a lot, your body temperature is going to go up. No, this picture is not edited.
Now, let me tell you about Ariana Grande. Yeah, she does. It does look like she could use a little bit of you know, more nutrition. But hey, that's her body. She feels she's doing the best job possible. If she feels like this is the best for her, then you know what? Who are we to judge? Who are we to judge that she's doing what she wants to do? A lot of us do bad things that we do that, I mean, just because we don't have cameras in our face 24/7 doesn't mean that we're any better than her. I mean, just because we could see what she's doing all the time. A lot of us do worse things than her. I mean, I don't know. Let's go on to the next clip.
After this footage just dropped,
launch the investigation.
it may be time to investigate Victor Wembanyama. We can't keep ignoring this. What is Wembanyama doing on this play? Look at his body. He throws a flying kick at OG Anunoby's ACL and misses it by this much. Now, I understand that Wembanyama gets roughed around and pulled and pushed more than any player in the NBA. But we have that Anunoby clip. And then we also have this clip right here. We have him telling Plumlee to go put a hit out on Jared McCain. Remember that? We have him pulling Luke Dort's hair like nobody would notice. And we obviously all know about the Jalen Brunson play, right? Should have been a flagrant. This is a lot of evidence against an individual in one singular playoff run. All these clips from one playoff run. And by the way, if you want to stay updated in the basketball world, make sure you're following. Here's the thing. If this was a compilation from one playoff run of Draymond Green, there would be outrage. And I don't understand what possible explanation you could have as to why you're doing that into another man's leg. So I really wanted to know what y'all think. Is Wembanyama a dirty player, or is he just subject to so much physicality that he kind of gets some leeway to do some crazy stuff? What do we think? After this
I don't know. I mean, that kick right here, they looked like a drop kick. Let me tell you guys, that looked just like a drop kick, all right? It didn't look like anything else. It looked like he was doing some wrestling move, you know, where they drop kick the people. That's what it looked like. I can't say anything else. All right, guys?
These are celebrities that have died twice. First up, Nelson Mandela. So there are millions of people who believe that Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s.
I'm one of those people.
The thing is, he did not die until 2013. But there are people who will argue you up and down the wall that Nelson Mandela died in the 1980s. The second one is Eddie Murphy.
What?
So there are millions and millions of people all over the world who specifically remember.
Wait up.
Eddie Murphy died in 2013 in a snowboarding accident. And the final one is Michael Jackson. So there's no specific date with this one. Hundreds of millions of people for this one believe that Michael Jackson died somewhere in the early 2000s, maybe late 90s. And they remember it playing out exactly how it did when he actually died. So for them, it feels like they relived Michael Jackson's death
Two
twice.
times. Oh my God.
It is the craziest thing ever.
I wonder what that is then.
These are celebrities that have done.
Honestly, I don't think that. I don't know. I don't even know if Eddie Murphy died. Did Eddie Murphy die, guys? I don't know. Michael Jackson has so many conspiracies behind his death. I mean, they say that he was poisoned. He was poisoned. Nelson Mandela effect. You got the Mandela effect right there. I mean, so many things that what's it called? That go on. You know, let me check. Is Eddie Murphy dead? I don't think he's dead, guys. I don't really think he's dead. Eddie Murphy dying twice? I don't think so. But let's go ahead and jump on to the next video.
I actually met someone who worked at the CIA, and I asked him the question.
No,
I said,
Eddie Murphy is not dead.
It wasn't me. It was a friend of mine asked it while we were there. He said, how many conspiracy theories are true? And the guy laughed, and he said, obviously I can't say anything to you, but he said, but I will tell you this. Oftentimes at the agency, we would be grateful. This was a really interesting phrase. He said, we would be grateful at how crazy conspiracy theorists were, because half the time they were correct, but half the time their conspiracies were so crazy that we never needed to like step in and balance. And it was this interesting concept to me where I went like, whoa. Wait, so half the things you think
are crazy.
Whatever you are, whoever you are in your world, half the things that you think are crazy are probably true.
Yes.
And then half the things that you think are true are probably crazy. The difficulty is we'll just never know. I actually met someone who worked at
CIA insider reveals the truth about conspiracies. I mean, sometimes you look at conspiracy theories and you're like, what's true? You know, what is true? Some of them sound so damn wild that you're like, that can't be true. But then they end up being true. I mean, MK Ultra, to me, I'm like, that's insane. But then there's literally CIA evidence, documents to say that it's true. That's insane.
Just 2 months ago,
Oliver Tree tried to warn us about the music industry.
Oliver Tree posted this video to his social media, giving fans an update on his album.
Just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records.
He warned them that the project was going to be late, not because it was not finished, but because he and his label could not come to an agreement. Oliver revealed that despite the revenue he generated for the company, he was not being respected and didn't know when an album was going to come next. For some reason, many artists find themselves having that exact same issue. One moment, they're happy and love their label, but the next, they're saying the complete opposite. But why? Why do so many artists have this issue? Today, we're going to analyze Oliver Tree's claim to highlight exactly what he was telling us about the music industry. The music industry is one of the most desired careers in the world. Many would give anything to be a famous artist or a top producer. But for some reason, when a lot of these artists blow up, they inevitably experience friction with their label. We saw famous examples of this with legends like Prince and Michael Jackson. Most recently, Drake had his own disputes, which I just covered in this video. Oliver Tree is one of the biggest pop artists in recent times, with massive hit songs pulling in hundreds of millions of views. But just like the artists before him, he eventually ran into the contractual problems. He blamed his label for not supporting his recent project and basically alleging that they hanged him out to dry. He even claims that some of his songs weren't even placed on the streaming sites so that his fans can listen to them. He believes that once the label got what they wanted, they no longer gave him the attention that he needed to continue his career. Now take a listen to what he had to say.
I just got word that my album is no longer coming out. Love You Madly, Hate You Badly is officially canceled, and I'm parting ways with Atlantic Records. Behind the scenes has been nothing short of a nightmare. I have no marketing budgets for music videos, no digital ad spend. Nobody really cares in the building, it seems like. I made a lot of money for Atlantic Records, and they don't seem to remember that. I have gotten no support. They forgot to ingest multiple songs into the system, which means the songs didn't come out. I had a Valentine's Day breakout song that didn't even get released because someone forgot to put it in. I don't really understand how that's possible. I've made them tens of millions of dollars, but they don't remember that. So, the music is owned by them. The remainder of the music will not be coming out. I will always continue to make music. Thank you for everyone who's supported me. I can't wait to release more music at some point at a later time, but for now, there is nothing on the horizon. I'm so sorry, and I love you guys. Thank you.
Oliver brought up the exact same complaints we heard constantly. He felt that after the executives got what they wanted from him, they just brushed them aside. Just 2 months ago, Oliver...
Well, you know what? You got to think about it with the music industry. It's all a business. It really is all a business. And these people think that, oh, you know what? They mix the relationship between them and the music industry like a relationship you would have with like your mom or your friends. You know, they think that, hey, this company's got to ride or die for me. You know what I'm saying? No, they got to make money. They got to make their money. If it seems like, you know, they're going to make money with you, then you know what? Just because they treat you right, just because they give you opportunities doesn't mean that they're your friends. You know, R.I.P. Oliver Tree, you know, it's a real sad thing. You know, my condolences go out to his family. It's a sad, sad thing. But at the same time, a lot of these artists are acting like these record labels are their parents, you know? They're not your parents, guys. Let's go.
This has to be one of the most terrifying things a person could ever experience.
Okay, worst death imaginable. China Airlines 8611.
This is another worst deaths imaginable. Viewer discretion is advised. It was May 25th, 2002 on China Airlines Flight 611. On the plane at that time were 206 passengers and 19 crew members, for a total of 225 souls on board. The flight took off at 3:07 p.m. with no problems whatsoever. A short time later, by 3:30 p.m., the flight had fallen off of radar. At that exact same time, communications were lost. There were no distress signals sent out. However, another plane picked up on the flight's emergency location indicator signal, and what they would find is an absolute nightmare. This is debris from Flight 611. The plane was completely destroyed. Jesus. It had been broken into several different chunks. The plane was obliterated. There were pieces of the plane found 45 kilometers away from the initial wreckage, which would tell the investigators that the plane likely disintegrated up in the air. And that's exactly what happened. So I'm just going to re-show the image I showed at the very beginning of the video. It is an animation, it's not the real thing in TikTok. But this is what happened to the plane.
Oh, wow.
The investigation determined that there was some obvious structural damage to the plane. The tail was the first thing to completely rip and break apart, and then that next portion there broke off and flew, and then eventually the entire thing just completely disintegrated. It blew apart. While all the people aboard are, alive when this happened. And I'm sure there were probably a lot of people who were yanked from the plane, and then everyone else just fell to, this is 35,000 feet up. I don't imagine they would have survived that kind of thing, but to those who may have still been alive, they died on impact. They determined that this plane had some really bad maintenance issues, which is pretty much always the case with these things. There was an incident that took place 22 years prior. It had suffered a tail strike, and when they did the repair on the tail, apparently it wasn't done to code or guidelines. It did enough, to sustain the plane for a couple more decades. And then they found that there was a fatigue crack in the plane. There was like one main one and then several, smaller fatigue cracks. And again, it was just it was improperly maintained for decades. And eventually the plane just gave out because the cracks got worse and worse over time. There was a whole lot of metal fatigue. There were obviously a lot of lawsuits that came from this. The results of those lawsuits, I'm not 100% sure, but this is something that just did not need to happen. Reason 1 million why I'm terrified to fly. This has to be...
That is insane. My condolences go out to every single family member right there. That is crazy. I cannot believe that company should be shut down, made to pay everybody. I cannot believe that. That is insane. That should never even happen. That should never be a reason to die. Never. All right, let's go.
He
on to the
basically
next-
just jumped onto concrete.
Oh!
This guy definitely just found out the
Oh!
hard way that you should never
Oh!
jump off of a fast-moving
Oh!
boat. And I came across this video on the internet. There really was no context to it. It just starts off with this guy already about to jump in, and that's exactly what he does.
All right,
this seemed
Pete.
to be a known thing that everyone else on the boat knew about because they were all laughing as he jumped in. And honestly, I'm pretty surprised that no one on this boat had more common sense to tell him that this was such a bad idea. And I paused this video at the perfect time for this screenshot. As you can tell, he kind of bounces off the water at first. If you pay close attention to the video, it does not look like he just jumped into water. It looks more like hitting concrete. And that's because this boat was probably traveling somewhere between 50 and 60 miles per hour. And you see, if you hit water at even 40 miles per hour, it's basically like hitting concrete. At this velocity, water quite literally does not have enough time to get out of the way. And although this just looks like fun and games, this can lead to permanent damage and even be fatal. A lot of people that do stuff like this end up shattering bones or even breaking their back. Definitely never jump off of a boat that's moving this fast. He basically just jumped onto concrete.
Look at that, guys. Oh, that is insane right there, guys. I cannot believe that happened to him. I cannot believe he did that. I cannot believe that people let him do that. That is crazy. Put it in the chat if you guys have ever even done anything like that. I cannot
Holy
believe that.
fuck, chat. What did RFK just say in this video? Watch this.
We need to talk about bioweapons. The level, I know a lot now about bioweapons because I've been doing a book on it for the past 2.5 years, and you know, the technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure, genetic differentials among different races of the receptors, of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted that or not. But there are papers out there that show the racial and ethnic differential impact to that. We do know that the Chinese are spending hundreds of millions of dollars developing ethnic bioweapons, and we are developing ethnic bioweapons. That's what all those labs in the Ukraine are about. They're collecting Russian DNA, they're collecting Chinese DNA, so we can target people by race.
Holy fuck, chat.
So you're telling me that this thing is literally just attacking white people and black people? That is messed up. I cannot believe that people literally make things like this. They literally make things that are attacking. I don't know where my mustache is. That are attacking, just certain races. For the first time, I can't believe that they made that the white man is actually the target of a weapon. I cannot believe that. I really can't. Don't say anything to me, guys. I'm sorry, but that is insane. I cannot believe they should not be doing these type of things at all. They should not be doing none of this. No, I can't believe that we're still fighting each other, guys. I'm sorry. Let's go on to the
one thing scarier.
The one thing scarier than a bear is a bear with rabies. This was not a normal bear.
Than a bear with rabies.
What's more terrifying than a bear chasing you? That's right, a rabid bear chasing you. This video has recently gone viral. It shows a bear chasing a vehicle on the road. You'll notice the bear has quite a bit of saliva coming out of its mouth, and the caption says, "This is not a normal bear." Now, I do want to say this totally could be AI, but we're going to treat this like this is a real video. One of the many things that people were speculating here in the comment section is that this bear was rabid, which totally could be possible, but I believe it's likely not, and I'll tell you guys why. Number one, bear are not considered to be a common vector for rabies. Typically, you're looking at animals that are much smaller, that might be a little bit more social. Think about skunks, foxes, coyotes, raccoons, etc. Second, in terms of the excessive drool here, when bears are agitated, they do tend to drool quite a bit. One thing I think would lend to this bear having rabies is that it's not really afraid of vehicles. Typically, bears are going to not approach them. There are cases of bears charging vehicles, though, without rabies. Either way, if the video is real and not AI, it would be a pretty scary situation to be in, whether or not the bear did or didn't have rabies.
The one?
Let me tell you, if I ever came across a bear with rabies, I would pass out. I don't know if you guys ever seen, he showed a little clip of the first video I seen with a bear with rabies, and that bear was going insane. One guy even said we should just give a bunch of bears rabies and throw them into the battlefield if we ever go to war. That would definitely win us the war. But I'm not for it, because I mean, these bears are poor things. You don't want to give them rabies. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys for watching this whole video. I appreciate it, guys. If you guys haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and make sure you guys like this video and share it. Thank you, guys. This has been Just Luis IRL, and keep watching for more videos, guys. Thank you.